What is going on, everybody? It is early. Not really early in the day, but early for me to be doing an NXT review. I know we've been running a little late, but hopefully we're trying to get back on track. It's been fall break, so it's been been able to get some videos out this week, so that's been nice. I know you can probably hear the dog in the background. Back at home, and a dog is here now, so it's interesting, but love dogs nonetheless. Let's get into NXT for this week. It was a pretty kind of short show because we had Battle Royal as the main event, but I think it was pretty good nonetheless. We started out with a Bailey promo um, that basically kind of inserted Alexa Bliss into the title picture. Bailey was kind of just thanking the fans. She was, talking about how good the moment was, to be NXT Women's Champion, to have this Iron Woman match. I guess you could call it. I think that's what we should call it, Iron Woman match. And it was a good. It was really cool to see Alexa Bliss kind of insert herself into it because she's been around NXT for a while, but we haven't really seen her get a chance at the title. So I'd like to see her, get a meaningful title run, and get a chance to actually do something with the NXT title, and if nothing else, just compete for it at least. Because you got to think Bailey might be going to the main roster soon, which you know is a double-edged sword. Like it's where you want to be if you're in WWE, but it's still not necessarily um, it's just not the best situation right now. They're still trying to get the quality of wrestling up on the main roster. So I feel like as much as you want to go to the main roster, it's still kind of I don't really know. Um, but next we had a Finn Balor and Samoa Joe interview, and this kind of, this was Joe trying to insert himself into the title picture. But William Regal, was not, Finn and Joe, they agreed to it, but William Regal was not going to have it. He was not. He said, which is surprising because William Regal was kind of like, yeah, let's do it, But tonight he was like, we're gonna have a battle royal to see who the real number one contender is, which we did have a battle royal, and it wasn't too bad, and it kind of I think it surprised me a little bit because I definitely went into it thinking Joe would win. But next we got the Perfect 10 kind of staking his claim into the NXT Battle Royal, and you kind of get a whole bunch of other people throughout the night doing the same. He was the first one, so he kind of caught my eye on that, on that front. Next we got the Bod Villains going up against Sawyer Fulton and Angelo Dawkins. I still don't know what they're doing with Sawyer Fulton and Angelo Dawkins. For some weird reason, they weren't in the tag team tournament. Well, at least we didn't see them, um, which I think was weird. If they're trying to build them up as anything, I feel like they should definitely have put them in that tournament to give them some exposure, but they didn't for some reason. But because I like them as a team, but you can't build off anything if you're never showcased. English kind of using his unique style while Dawkins and Fulton use aggression. English gets isolated. The missed corner forearm gets Simon Gotch in. Gotch hits Fulton for pretty much everywhere. Love the unique style of the Bob Villains. It's really cool. For some reason, Angelo Dawkins was wearing two headbands. They both came off as the whirling dervish was hit for the win by the Vaude Villains. It's weird because the Vaude Villains lost to um, who they lose to. They talked about it later. The Vaude Villains, they ended up losing in the tag team title tournament, not tag team title tournament, but the Dusty Rhodes Classic to Dash and Wilder. But there's still nothing. That they're not really competing against each other yet. So I'm confused. I don't know what's going on. But next we get a Dash and Wilder. They think they're the true champions because they did beat the Vaude Villains. I'm interested in how that's gonna go. I feel like I hope they start something with them because Dash and Wilder getting some traction with me as characters. They're not as generic. The Shatter Machine is one of the greatest tag team finishers. I think it looks devastating, and I like it. Nia Jax, we finally get Nia Jax coming up next. You know, Casey and I have been saying she's coming soon. She's coming soon, eventually. And Casey and I was like, she's never coming. We all know she's never coming. But she does end up having a match against Evie here in a little bit. Then we got Asuka kind of having some fun at Brooke while she was on the table. I guess Brooke kind of was having a concussion at this point or something. She was not remembering correctly because she knew that she beat Asuka in the match at Takeover Respect. Obviously, she did not, nor did she get the upper hand at the end. So, it'll be interesting to see where they go with that. If they're gonna let Brooke, maybe get a win over Asuka, because Dana Brooke's kind of been dominant until Asuka came along, and you or Emma's partner, as Casey would call her. But next we have Evie versus Nia Jax. Jax looked a little bit different than I was anticipating. She was much more massive than I was anticipating. I don't know. I expected her to be somewhat similar to Dana Brooke in stature. She sounded like Dana Brooke, but she did. Oh, she sounded like she was going to be really strong, but she was more so big than she was strong. I mean, she was both strong and big, but she was bigger than I anticipated. But Jax was just overpowering Evie. It's nice to see another new, female in the women's division for NXT. Jax catches Evie with the bear hug, and she made the bear hug look devastating. Evie did a good job of selling it, and she also, so did Jax. Jax did a great job of just wrenching it in, making it look really good. Evie fights out, but she can't get the sunset flip. She gets thrown into the corner. She tries to fight back with the round kicks, but then we get the big kind of a tripping slam, kind of a throwdown by Nia Jax to win. So Nia Jax wins in her debut. Not surprising. I kind of want to see where they're going to go with her because, we've had a couple of new, Divas women, I guess you could say, debuting in NXT. I guess I don't know if they're pushing more people to the main roster or if they're just trying to, keep it fresh. I'm not really sure, but it's going to be interesting. It's always interesting in NXT to see where they're going to go. But yeah, next week we get some reaction to the NXT Respect Iron Woman match, which I think was really cool to see. Really cool to see that people were appreciative of that match. They were happy that it was the main event and everything. And it was incredible. If you haven't got a chance to watch it, and find it somewhere. Even if you don't have the network, find it somewhere because it was an incredible match. I don't know if it was as good as the first match they had, but it was still really good. It's still really good, if not a 1A to the first match. Then we get Eva Marie in Paris talking about how she needs some me time. I think they're just trying to build even more heel heat because Eva Marie, I think they threw her out there trying to see what the plan was. They wanted to see if she was going to be loved, if she was going to be hated. I think they obviously saw the backlash from the fans from her not getting her shoulder up in that one match. They saw the backlash from the fans from her first couple of matches, not only in NXT but beforehand. So I think they were going to throw it out there, see if anybody did, at least try to stay on her side, and not many people did. So they're going to, go with this. And, people are like, she doesn't, and I think this is going to help their heel heat because, people are like, she needs to be in the ring training. She needs to be in the ring doing more matches, not in Paris doing nothing, and I think that just helps build the heel heat, and that's nice. That's nice to see. I'm glad they're creating another kind of way of doing it, especially with Eva Marie, where people think she's kind of lazy anyway, and this is not really what she's cut out for. She doesn't really like, she's not, a true wrestler. She hasn't worked for it, so I feel like it's gonna be interesting. It's definitely gonna be interesting. Next we get the main event of the evening, number one contenders battle royal. Rhino, Corbin, and Samoa Joe were really the only people giving entrances. This was a battle royal where everyone started in the ring at the same time. Joe gets ganged up on early, but he fights it off. Steve Cutler and Elias Sampson, who would have thunk, were eliminated first. Cruz takes out Gargano. Enzo staying in as best he can. Big Cass gets caught from behind and eliminated. Dillinger gets Amore out. Bull takes out Dillinger, which the fans were not happy because the fans love Ty Dillinger. I think the Perfect 10 thing was, excuse the phrase, but perfect for him because at least, like I said, it gives him something to kind of run with. And, I think that's all you need as a wrestler sometimes. It's just some character to run with. You can't come out there just generic and hope that people are going to get behind it because it's not going to happen. You even think about Chad Gable and Jason Jordan, they're cocky, they're arrogant, and they know how to talk. So, people are going to get behind that. Reddy, Willing, and Gable, people are going to get behind that. So it's nice to see Dillinger kind of getting a little bit of a push, at least getting some kind of character to build on. Rhino helps Corbin and gets rid of Dempsey. Riley gets taken out by Corbin. Zack Ryder then gets taken out. I think that was also by Corbin. Corbin then sneaks over there and takes out Rhino, and Rhino was not happy. I'm wondering if they're going to start something between those two. I know they had a match before, but I'm hoping that maybe they'll continue that or something. Since Corbin obviously did not win this match, Ciampa gets taken out by Joe. Joe ends up taking out Blake and Murphy, and then Breeze, trips the leg a little bit and takes out Joe because Joe was the one that took out Breeze, so he obviously wasn't happy. So maybe they're gonna start something with them two as well, with Joe and Breeze, and I think that'll be pretty good. Double Enzuigiri to Cruz and Corbin. Muscle Buster reversed as and almost takes Joe out, but Breeze, like we said, took Joe out. The power game coming into play by both men, with Corbin and Cruz being the final two. We want Tyler chants kind of rung around the building. Cruz comes back, standing moonsault gets reversed. Enzuigiri's, but not, they're not taking Corbin out. The clothesline eventually does take Corbin out, and I was surprised. I thought they were going to give Baron Corbin the rub here, I guess you could say. Reason I'm saying that is they've been really kind of pushing Baron Corbin. They pushed him as a kind of a tag team guy just in the Dusty Rhodes series, and they didn't win. So I'm like, maybe they're gonna try to push him to the title. Finn's been in NXT not too terribly long, but I think maybe you could say maybe long enough. I'm looking forward to the Joe Finn feud too, though. I hope they do something with that, but I don't know if he has how many ever feuds he has left in him in NXT. I don't know how long they're waiting to take him, from NXT, because I know they talked about even taking him from NXT before he even had a title run. So I want to see, talking about Finn there, but I want to see what they're going to do with this Cruz Balor, because that's going to be an incredible match whenever they have it. And I definitely want to see, Joe and Breeze. I think that's going to be really good. I want to see what Corbin's going to do too. Corbin, I think, is more impressive when you can see him in longer than 20 seconds of a match. So, I want to see more from these guys, and that's all I want to see. I'm excited though. We got some new contenders from this show. We got Alexa Bliss inserting herself into the Bayley thing. I don't know who else would really be able to take that unless you would say Emma, because she did win that random fatal 4-way match, and they're still not doing anything with it for some weird reason. So I'm kind of interested to see how that's going to go, if she's going to ever get her chance at the women's title, because I feel like with this heel gimmick, she probably could be taken a little bit more seriously on the main roster. So, but obviously they're not rushing to get her back up there either. So I want to see how everything plays out. We got some new number contenders with Alexa Bliss. We obviously have Apollo Crews, and then we got some other feuds kind of stemming out too. I want to see what Ciampa and Gargano, how they do too, what they get thrown into. I kind of, always cool to see those guys. So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe for more NXT reviews. I'm obviously gonna have some other people on and some water next time because my voice is not having it tonight. I'm gonna have some other people on while Casey's away and try to get some discussion going. But good show tonight. Kind of short show, not as many matches, but that's because of the big battle royal at the end. So definitely excited. Hope you guys enjoyed. Give that video a like. Much love to you guys. See you guys later. Peace.